Okay, we're recording. No, in terms of the TSP 70, my understanding is we use that to basically withdraw from the account, I would imagine one time or several times. I think what it's basically doing is giving us the authority that it's our account by submitting that.
Yeah. In Part 4 it says, I'd like to withdraw my entire account balance as follows, and 100%, or, I guess you put 50% or whatever you want.
Right.
But at the bottom it says 100% total A, B, and C, percentage of A, B, and C. Yeah.
Well, I guess one is what you're leaving in, whatever it is, A, B, and C are, they have to add up to 100%. And if you're taking out 100%, that makes the other two 0.
Right. And we probably should, it says they want to know, like, where your checking or savings account is. I guess we'll have to set up the postal checking account.
Well, this is where Patrick says we really need to have this 98 EIN foreign grantor trust set up. Mm-hmm. Because that's the purpose of that, is to house the whole funds.
Right.
That we
it's Patrick. I'm on the line.
Yes, Patrick.
Okay. Here's the deal. Okay. In most cases, either take the money away from them or they're going to screw with you. Okay. So you want to take 100% out. Mm-hmm. Leave anything in there, and basically they're still going to be classifying you as a United States citizen. Okay, you're located in their system now, in their postal system. Okay, so you've got to take the whole thing out, then you can put it over into the post office side.
Right.
Okay, so that's why I put on that initial one, I think up there, template, 100%. Wasn't giving you the option to put it anyplace else. You put it anyplace else, and basically you're still going to be under their system.
Okay, and we by going to the postal side, we don't need the 98 right then?
They will give you one or something if you want to come back in later on and deposit it over on the other side. So that's what I tried to explain in one or two of the other tapes there, not to worry about that right now.
Right.
Your key thing is to get out of the system, out of their system, and this is under your redress, right of redress of grievance.
Right.
Okay? You need to look up some of these words.
Every
now, just sort of sit tight and listen to what I have to say, okay?
Okay.
Everything out here, your certificate of live birth, your Social Security account, your DD-214, your certificate of title to your vehicle, your certificate of title to your property, your certificate of title to your boat, okay, your driver's license, whatever license you have that's issued by them is basically a thrift savings plan, a TSP. That gave them the authorization to basically take out loans against that thrift. Okay? And basically that's why it's called the TT&L, Treasury, Thrift, and Loan Bank. And basically thrift didn't come about until when the Federal Reserve came into power in 1913. Came into play. That's when thrift came in. They didn't bring the word trust or thrift trust in. It was thrift. Like I said all along, there is no trust in this country. It's thrift. Look that word up. look up these words that I've been throwing out here and why it comes into play. And Alabama is a key hub point for all this financial stuff in the process, because they tie in through the Federal Reserve banking system in through Alabama there. I didn't know about that until we got in looking into some of this stuff. Now, your driver's license and like your certificate of title to your vehicle, registration, in a lot of cases, some of those are just going to be a 9-digit number. That is your TSP number. Your certificate of live birth may be less than 11, but in most cases, it's going to be 11. Your 3-digit state code, your 2-digit year code, and then your 6-digit person code. So now you've got 9 or 11 digits. Now on a death certificate, it should be 13 digits because they put the full year in there. But now if they have a certificate of live birth, some states do it with your full year in it, put it in, whatever that registration number is. I don't want to argue about it. Okay? So you try and think about these numbers, okay? It's all in the number game. Okay, now your Social Security account is 9 digits. You take out the dashes in these. You don't put any dashes in those numbers in the TSP. And then, like for the military people, it's going to be your selective service number. The first 3 digits is the state code. The next 2 digits is the county or the selective service office number. Then the next 2 numbers are the last 2 numbers of your date of birth, year of your birth, and then the next 4 numbers are the number that you signed up when you turned 18. That year when you turned 18. So that's an 11-digit number also. The accounts were set up with when you signed up, but they only got funded when you went into the service. Okay, so even though you might have had a selective service number, if you didn't go into the service, you don't have any funding there because that was a military bounty funding. Okay, so when you get an honorable discharge, then you have proof that you did federal military service. Then you have put that in there with your TSP 70 form. And then a driver's license, you do that. You put those in. You send all these TSPs down to Birmingham, Alabama. Fax them in. It doesn't say anything on the item there that you have to send the original. It says fax them. You have the capability of faxing them, so fax them. I would also send a copy of the TSP over to the Fairfax, Virginia office. Do a write-up, some sort of write-up against, take a copy of your certificate of live birth, your Social Security account, your driver's license, and write something up and copy it and say, I'm terminating this document under right of regress. They're doing a recaption, okay, of the item. You're basically the American citizen, and you're coming in and claiming your property from this foreign corporation. The United States Corporation is a 14th Amendment foreign corporation per the Constitution. It was never a state authorized by the Constitution. It's a foreign state. So we come in and write it up. We can do a letter of marque. To read the definition in the dictionary, it says that the states cannot do letters of marque. That's true. The states cannot do letters of marque because they own nothing. They're a corporation, and they're also bankrupt. So they own nothing. So they can't do a letter of marque. Only someone who owns something, okay, can basically do a letter of marque. And we're the owners of America. We're the sovereignty of America. So we can do letters of marque. We also come in under the 3-day rule of grace. We give them grace for 3 days. You turn around and, like for the certificate of live birth, the Social Security account, and for the military service, DD 214, you do a 1099-C. You do a 1099-A. And then you do an American 1090-V voucher, an American tax collector's voucher. It's awful funny that the IRS never had a 1099-V in their system. They had a 1041, they had a 1040-V, but they had no 1099-V because they didn't want us to know that we could do an American tax collection. And see, the 1099-A, B, and C can be used by anybody. But you have to know their codes, their federal identification codes, and that was one of the key points was deciphering that code to be your zip code dash your 4-digit number, box number, your zone number. That's the code. Where is your depository located? Your mailbox is a depository. Okay? So the funds come out of a depository into your depository at your postal zone number. Everybody out here has been fighting the zip codes and everything else, trying to get away from them because they didn't know and understand the coded system. We cannot do anything but the A, B, and C 1099s of their forms. That's why you were only told in school to learn your ABCs. You didn't know why, because they could have said, hey, you need to learn the alphabet, and left it at that. No. They made a strong point of telling you to learn the ABCs, not the ABCDs, just the ABCs. So we didn't know what they were telling us, and nobody ever asked the question. Why did you stop at A, B, and C? Why didn't you say D, E, F? What's the relevancy here? Now, when you do these, you have essentially terminated or suspended all operations when you do that TSP 70. When you do the TSP 70, ordering the withdrawal, they can no longer utilize those accounts. And when you put the 1099-C and the 1099-A and the 1099 American Tax Collector voucher in place, you have essentially told them to settle the account. Bring it into settlement. That means all IRS liens. That means everything. All bank claims against that title of property, against that account. You're bringing the accounts into closure. Therefore, if you have your TSP for your driver's license and for your certificate of title, I would feel that you show those to a cop, and basically he can't write a ticket because he can only charge an account that is active. Okay? He can't charge something that is inactive, that has been frozen, because there's no money there. And it's all out here is all about money, trying to acquire it from you. Okay? Now this is in the postal system, okay, which was brought about in 1887. And then, like I said, the Thrift system came in around the same time when the Federal Reserve came in. The loan part of it came about under Roosevelt's New Deal. All of a sudden, in 1933, when they went into bankruptcy, you started seeing all these new items. Federal home loan, federal farm loan, federal loan here, federal loan there. All these different loan programs, because now they had our thrifts set up. Now they were getting loans from our thrifts. This is all done in stages so that nobody would understand what was going on. They owe us because they've been borrowing from us the usage of our collateral. Therefore, I'm switching gears here now, so try and keep up with me. All bills that you get are basically prepaid when they come in from a corporation that is operating in interstate commerce. Okay, because they all come in under the 1887 liability insurance and bond writing system. So they have taken a loan out against our account because, like I said, okay, the Federal Reserve cannot create money out of thin air. That's a total pipe dream that some of these Creature of Jekyll Island and all these other nitwits out here that don't really understand the money system out here are perpetrating. The conspirators, okay, that just operate on a conspiracy, they don't understand what is really going on. So you turn around and you take the bill and you write on it that you endorse it back to them for settlement and closure. You do a 1099-C with that bill, if they have rendered service to you, then you're done. Now, if they have sent you a bill, like your property tax, and they only gave you part service, you have the right to claim part of that tax back, that withholding tax back. Good example is if you have no kids out there and you're paying your property tax, and most of your property tax is school taxes out here, you turn around, you do a 1099-C, but you mark it, yes, the outfit is liable to pay, the debtor is liable to pay the bill back. Okay? Then you do a 1099-A and claim, say, you're claiming back the school taxes or whatever taxes that are on there that you did not receive services for. They can only tax for the services that have been rendered to allow for you to have the set-off for those services. But if they have not given you any service, you have the right to claim that back. You can't claim the whole thing back because you have been given some services out of it. Now, if you paid the whole bill out of your back pocket, you can claim that one back, but you have to do the 1099-C to cancel the other one. You can only claim one of them. Unless it's, like I said, on the services that you're going to do, you paid out of your back pocket, you're claiming that secondary payment back against the account that they've taken from you, and then you're going to claim back the school taxes also. So you'd have to do two 1099-As. Now, when you do a 1099-A, you also put in this American Tax Collector's voucher against that corporation. Okay, I put the example up on that. We are the American tax collectors. Even in Jesus' time, one of his ambassadors or disciples or magisters by the name of Matthew, that means that's one of his persons, was a named tax collector.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? One of the guys told me that there was one of the other disciples that was also known as a tax collector, and I said, that guy was probably a tax collector for a different tax that Jesus was out there operating in. See, you've got state taxes, you got federal taxes, so you might be able to use a different pseudonym under each one of them. It all depends on how you signed up. I've signed up Paul Devine in some cases. Some cases I'm just Patrick Devine. Those are my disciples, my ambassadors, my magisters, my pseudonyms, my aliases. They're all the same thing. Jesus wrote the New Testament under different pseudonyms. Now, if people can comprehend that, they might be able to comprehend the rest of this, because this is really an accountant's nightmare when it comes down to it. But when you can start seeing how the accounting took place, then you can start making sense out of it. you get a bill or a receipt from the post office. Okay? Every company in this country has to borrow funds. They own nothing. They have to zero their accounts at the end of the year. So they have to take out a loan by way of the Treasury, Thrift, and Loan Bank. Therefore, when you get a receipt from the post office, you look at the top of it. It should have the city or the post office, like in my case, Sigourney, MPO, Maine Post Office. Then it has the address, our location, and then it has their zone number, okay, that they're usually using. Then it's got another number underneath that. That other number down below that is the machine processing number. The machine is the bill writer. Okay? So there's also an account attached to that machine bill number. You have the value of those stamps or whatever you purchased. You come all the way down towards the bottom and you will have a bill number. And then you have the clerk's number. You can add all of those receipts up from the post office. You do a cover letter addressing that you're coming back in to claim that property. You do a 1099-C, cancel the debt that basically they have borrowed there, but they're still liable for the repayment of it. Then you do a 1099-A along with that for that value, and also do a 1099-V voucher. A voucher is also a warrant. So basically, if they do not comply, you can take that warrant down to the sheriff or to the U.S. Marshals and have them go and collect that value. Or take it to a court. You go into court as the plaintiff. They are the defendant. Okay? But you need to read these definitions that are there. The machine is the account number. Okay? The bill is one of the items that you are exchanging. So it is a bill of exchange. We don't have to do the bills of exchange like what I was trying to do there before. We take their bills and exchange them back for the value that has already been prepaid, that they owe us. Walmart, everything in that Walmart store has been prepaid for. You take all their receipts that you get. You endorse the back of them. You fill out a form. You do a 1099-C, 1099-A, and 1099-V voucher, and you send that in to the chief financial officer of Walmart.
Are you correctly saying a 1090-V or 1099-V?
1099-V.
Oh, there is a 1099-V. I thought you said there wasn't.
No, that's
one that I made up. I had to make it up. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was no 1099-V in their system.
Oh, okay. That's why. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they never made one up.
Right.
Because they didn't want to have it there for us.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. We have to make up the voucher because we're the tax collector. Okay. See, the IRS is, look at the title. Where in the IRS does it say that they're a tax collector? Nowhere. They're a tax informant. They're a tax servicer. But they're not a true tax collector. You are. You have to go out and collect the taxes. All those tax bills that come in, we have to do a 1099-C to offset them. See, all the taxes are owed to America, to the United States of America, not to the corporations. They're owed to the United States of America. They're, in most cases, all tariff taxes. So they're owed to the United States of America. You are the United States of America, the land of the United States of America. You are not the United States Corporation, the 14th Amendment citizen. You are an American citizen. An American citizen is a United States of America citizen. They shorten the phrases down, and then basically they've gotten everybody not to understand which one is which. So when you do this, TSPs, you are essentially doing your expatriation away from that. Yes, when you close down all your accounts, they have no lawful claim of you being a corporate citizen any longer.
So the TSPs give us, TSP 70 gives us our exit of the system.
Yes.
Okay.
Over all items, because it is a USPS /federal / state of Treasury thrift and loan depository account. It's a savings plan that basically was saving your assets for you. You just didn't know how to come in and claim your savings. You go into court.
We actually
People have to use the word thrift savings plan.
Right.
Read what it says about the legal department for the thrift savings plan out of Fairfax, Virginia. It said if you don't use that term exactly the way it is there, thrift savings plan, you're not going to get what you want. So you go into court and you argue you're the trustee or you're the beneficiary of this Sesticate trust or all this garbage, you're not going to get access to your thrift savings plan and have it set off. All these people have been arguing the wrong account name. They may understand some of the process, that yes, everything is prepaid, but they don't understand the whole process. They don't have the right zone number, zip code, to basically operate in the system and be able to come out of the system.
So
Now,
Birmingham.
Okay, go ahead.
Birmingham and Fairfax are part of the TSP system?
Yes, go into the TSP.gov website and study everything that's on there.
Okay.
Okay? For you, Tom, you need to, and I posted it up on the group, it's the TSP 70A form.
Right.
Anybody that's over the age of 70 and a half has to use that form. Okay? Because essentially they have claimed you have abandoned your right to that property. The age of 70 is very key in this process. when did Daniel go to the Medes Persians and tell them that they had to release the Israelites to go back to Israel? After 70 years. Most everything else out here has been operated on when it deals with man, has been operated on a 7-year contract. But for the certificate of live birth, it was on a 3 7-year contracts for the age of 21. And see, that's also mentioned in the Bible as 20, because they, like I said before, they counted the year of gestation as year 1. So it still comes out to 21 years. The age of freedom is the age of 25. That's when basically a person has supposed to have been reached their full growth potential, is at the age of 25. So they set up these other contracts, 7-year contracts, to terminate at the age of 25, when you were supposed to be a totally free man upon the land. They set them up from 18 to 25. Selective service, 18 to 25. Social Security, 18 to 25. You weren't supposed to have to go past 25 on anything, because that places you under bondage. How can you be a free man if you're under bondage? You can't. Okay, so now you see the importance. And then basically it is in the Constitution, those 2 time periods, those 2 ages, 21 and 25. You can only represent another man if you are totally free. That's to be a representative. It didn't say really refer to being a representative in the government, but it was representing another man. So you have to be free. Not like these nitwit representatives we got out here right now, because they're all representing a corporation, a 14th Amendment corporation. Because they're not really free. So they are a foreign corporation. The foreign corporation also changed the age of voting to 18. Therefore, you wouldn't know that you had something coming due when you turned 21. They hid a lot of stuff in under different coded sections. Like all the military service bounties has been moved over out of Title 38, where it was at one point in time, over to Title 46, the shipping codes, under Merchant Marine codes. They also hid some of this stuff under the Title 49, the transportation and railroad codes. They railroaded this country into what it is today. The bankers did. They killed several presidents, Lincoln, Garfield, Kennedy, to try and keep this railroad system in place. Always check out what was also being transpiring at the time of the death of these presidents. Kennedy was not all about, well, I'm going to redo the dollar and put it out under a different scenario. No. He also signed the last item to bring about the military bounty and place it under Title 46. He was a supporter of the American serviceman. Bush and the other bankers that we've had for corporate presidents, they don't support the serviceman whatsoever. They want to make money off the servicemen, so they put liability insurance policies out against them in the tune of millions of dollars. And then they hassle with the widows of those servicemen for even giving them a $30,000 death benefit. These corporate shysters out here have been the destroyers of America with their insurance schemes that they've been writing out here. Their bondage system. Now, I've given you the means to come out. I got a letter back today from Birmingham, Alabama. The first fax that I sent into them, and be careful when you do a conversion, especially if you're operating between two different computers. I had all the form filled out on one computer in a PDF format. I copied it onto one of my hard drives to go and print it out, and I just hit the button print to print it out. Well, it didn't print out all the items that I had filled in. It left out the account number. So on the first fax, when I sent it into Birmingham, Alabama, the first fax did not contain an account number. They had my address and everything on there, but because they got that right in sending it back to me, but they came back and said, well, basically, on your fax request, you didn't have an account number, so we can't do anything, so resubmit it. Well, I'd already resubmitted it that same day because I caught my mistake. But see, you always need to double check a lot of items when you're doing this, okay? I got in a rush this morning. I sent a fax off to Donahue. I put it in the machine, punched the button, and let it go. I went out and smoked a cigarette. Come back in, just about the time I finished the cigarette, I said, oh, shit, I forgot to sign the damn things. So I had to pull it out, sign everything, stamp it, seal it, and put it back in and send it back out again. I got in too big a hurry. My fault. 99% of this whole damn process out here has been our fault. We have to take on the responsibility. We have to acknowledge that we are the ones that have been making the mistakes. We've been operating under the wrong presumptions. And in a lot of cases, listening to a bunch of these pay or for hire gurus out here, misleaders that are deceiving the people, not trying to understand anything, just make money off the people that want to try and get out of the system, that they're not really helping them one bit. All this accepted for value, all this other stuff. Well, I got relief here. You go and try it, and they say you can't get it. What's going on? Is somebody lying? I have a damn good feeling somebody was lying to get into your back pocket, just like the bankers, the lawyers, the ministers, and everybody else has been doing to you all your life. These shell shipers or whatever, shysters, are doing the same damn thing, guru shysters. We might want to call them. So now I've given you the means and hopefully the understanding of how to do this. With the 1099As, you need to order. And I would say I would order 90 just to have them on hand. Whether you use them all or not, you can always order more, but get them ordered. 90 1099As. You shouldn't need too many 1099Bs, so I would order just 30 1099Bs. You'll need a bunch of 1099Cs, so I would put as many 1099Cs as you ordered for the 1099As. 90 of them. Then you can consolidate when you do the filing of those, because there's normally 3 on a page of the 1099C and the 1099A. There's 2 on a page for the 1099B. You can't separate the copy that goes into the IRS. You can separate the 1099B copy and the C copy individually. Okay? So basically, roughly about 30 1096 forms should be enough that you would need. You need to either call up the phone number that is on that form, or you go online and order them online.
Yeah, we had to wait for the shutdown to stop before I could order them.
Well, you could have done it online and had it sitting there. I did it
right.
online, so I had one sitting there, and then I called them up as soon as they started back up the next day into the office.
Okay.
Okay. Also, that the TSP legal department there in Fairfax, Virginia, was shut down during the shutdown, but the fax machine at Birmingham, Alabama, remained open during the shutdown. Also, the Postmaster General's office fax machine was open, receiving faxes during the shutdown. See, the shutdown did not affect everything. It only affected some of the support organizations. But when it comes down to the real hard operating organizations, they still had to be there. See, we could live without the House of Representatives and without the senators out there. They're nitwits anyway.
Do we need the TSP1 at all then? TSP1 seems to be for signing up for the accounts, but you're saying we already have the accounts. So
we already have the accounts. You signed up for them when you registered the driver's license, when you registered the house, when you registered the certificate of live birth, when you registered your Social Security account. You're already signed up.
Okay.
Think about this, Tom, before you speak. Right?
Right.
Okay. No, you don't need it.
Right.
Is the answer.
Well, I brought it up because I finally figured out I don't need it.
Yeah.
I was thinking I did, but the way you explained it today, now I see I don't.
No, you don't need it. You've already got the accounts, okay?
Right.
You've got the documents, and these are post-note accounts. Look at your certificate of live birth that comes from the state. It's on bank note paper. So it's a bank note. And it was a post note. That means it was a down the road note that became due after a certain time period. So it is a post note, a post bank note. And that's what our certificate of live birth is, because it was to come due when you turned 21, after you'd signed up. But that doesn't mean that you can't do one of the other forms and do a withdrawal from that account before you turn 21. You go and you graduate from high school at the age of 18. You want to go to college. I don't know why, but everybody in this country thinks they need to go to college to learn anything. Well, I hate to tell you that you ain't going to learn much in that damn college. You'd be better off going to a library and sticking your head in all the damn dictionaries in that library. Learn the words. You will learn a hell of a lot more than you will ever out of a college. But that's beside the point. You want to go to this college. The college basic tuition is $40,000 a year. You turn around and you do one of the TSP requests against your TSP account. So you don't need to go to the bank. This is your TSP account. So, and I forget which form number it was, but there's one there that you can do against your TSP account if you're like you haven't reached the full age of 21 yet to terminate and withdraw that whole TSP account.
I'm going to find that out. My granddaughter needs that.
How old is she now?
She's 18. Turned 18 last December.
Or she'd be better off trying to find a guy that knows what the hell I'm talking about here and latch on to him than trying to go to any damn college. If she goes to college, she's just going to get another misunderstanding of education, another control factor in the whole damn process.
I can help her with some of that.
Tell her to take up accounting, homeschool accounting. Learn how to operate the system. Tell her to start going and become a multi-millionaire Walmart dipsty dumpster diver. Yeah. Most people throw their receipts away. Those dumpsters at Walmart are full of money.
Wow.
Dollar General, any interstate commerce, all your gas is paid for. It's through a organization, either like, in most cases, BP or Casey's or some other interstate corporation. Come and go. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different convenience stores that basically are tied into the gas scenario, the gas business, with BP or Amoco or you name it. Okay? All these oil companies, they take out loans from our accounts. All the gas is prepaid for. You take the receipts and you turn around and send them back in.
So my son, the truck driver, is owed a lot of money back.
Everybody in this country is owed a lot of money back.
Yeah, but he burns up a lot of gas. He burns up a lot of diesel.
Yeah, but he might change life endeavors, when he understands the accounting process.
Yeah, indeed. That's what I've been trying to get him to do.
Okay? When people start understanding that a lot of this stuff is prepaid, now they can start living the higher level of life that they were supposed to be going into. They were not supposed to be hamstrung under the same work and die scenario that basically has been operating for the last 25,000 years, from the Egyptians' time frame and Moses' time frame, all the way through the Dark Ages and everything. No, we were supposed to become enlightened, and the only way you can become enlightened is when you break free and start understanding how Mother Earth was giving all of this to you for your benefit out here. But no, we wanted to play that we were smarter than the average bear, and we knew it all. Okay. Going open for questions.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. That really is a whole lot of information and understanding. I appreciate it. Anybody with questions?
Hi, Patrick. It's Geeta. I have a question.
Okay.
I was looking at the DD 214, the military one. Do we need to still access or get information on that?
I told you about that. Okay.
Huh.
If you have a selective service number, that is the TSP account number.
You know, it's funny because I was in the Army National Guard when I graduated high school in '75, and then my dad made me sign up to go into the services, so I went into the National Guard, and I can't even remember what my service number was.
You more than likely didn't have a selective service number. Selective service was only applied to the man.
Okay.
Now, you did service, and basically you probably had a service number assigned when you went into the service. So you would have to use that number, okay, try and find that number, and then do a check to see whether they set up an account. See, women were not supposed to be in the service.
Well, there was a bunch of us there.
I know. Because you didn't know your life responsibilities, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them didn't know how to cook. I mean, half of them still don't know how to cook, okay? They don't know how to sew. They don't know how to do half the things that basically a woman was supposed to learn and be under the protection of a man. They didn't know how to go out and find the right man to live with to begin with.
So
they were never told what they were supposed to be looking for out here. Because basically our parents didn't know what they were supposed to be looking for either. So how can you tell somebody, and that's what I get out of all these colleges, why would you want to go to a professor in a college that is a total failure out in the real world? You'd be better off going to a master person for the operation that you want to be in. Go and become an apprentice under him or her. Learn what they did to achieve their success. Now, there's no teacher out there that is very successful in the educational system. They have been users of the young minds in more cases than anything else. They're rip-off artists.
You do learn so much more when you homeschool yourself. Independent study.
Yeah, when you go, especially when you go and start learning what the words really mean and find a good dictionary like this Anderson's Law Dictionary, to where it explains the words 100% better than any of the corporate Bouvier's, Ballantyne's, and Black's Law dictionaries that were written by the Bar Association.
All right. I'll just hold off on the DD 214 because I can't even
Well,
remember.
no, check it out, okay? You're going to have to do the thing. You need to check and see what were. Look for your original, some of your original enlistment papers, okay? And then also look on your DD 214 when you got out. You have a serviceman's or a merchant marine's discharge, so they had to have an account set up.
Yeah, it says service
now,
number.
how that account is, it's going to be different from a man's account.
Oh, jeez.
So go dig up your records.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the form right now. It's just service number, but it says in parentheses, if unknown, write unknown, and they'll help look it up.
Yeah.
Once you kind of like...
You give them the pertinent information. If need be, you send a copy of your DD 214 along with it, so that they have the dates that you were in service and basically pertinent other information that they can check it out. You can go to the legal department there in Fairfax, Virginia.
Yeah, it's a form, it's standard form 180.
But like I'm saying, you need to try and find some of your original enlistment documents when you went through boot camp.
Yeah, paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
More questions? More questions?
I have a question.
Shoot.
Go ahead.
With this TSP 70, you were talking about driver's license and other things. Is that driver's license number an account that we would put on the TSP 70?
Yes. It's should be a 9-digit number. It may have a letter or something like that in it, but a letter is still a number.
Okay.
Should we proceed that with the 3-digit state code?
No.
No. Okay.
What the account number is on there, okay? They will find it, okay?
Okay.
You don't know which 3-digit state code there is. California, for the certificate of live birth, has something like about 8 different 3-digit codes. I don't know how many they have for their selective service. Here in the state of Iowa, my 3-digit code for my southern district is 114. I don't know if they have a different number for the northern district of Iowa, but then my selective service number for the southern district of Iowa was 130 for the state of Iowa. So your 3-digit state code for your selective service and for your certificate of live birth more than likely are going to be 2 different state codes.
Okay. So let them figure that out.
Well, no, you should have it on your selective service and on your certificate of live birth. But for your driver's license, I would say no. It's going to be dependent upon how the state put the letters into that 9-digit number.
Okay.
Now, in the
same
case with
thing
the
would go
certificate
for
of live
the
birth,
same. Huh?
I said in the case with the certificate of live birth, certificate number and everything, I have an issue where the one that was given to me, for the number.
You put them both in, okay?
Well, the issue is that some of the numbers in here are faded. So I was asking if they would be able to look up, because I have the certificate number and I have the state number, but the local registration.
You call down and get another document, okay?
I should just order a new one then?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's all I need to know.
Yes, I just tried it. The TSP account number does seem to accept letters.
Yes.
Good.
And basically, that's how they, because when you put a letter in there, now it has capability of 26 different characters.
Mm-hmm.
The alphabet. So
So
now
if
you just broadened the scope of that 9-digit number into a bigger number.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Patrick Esquita, so it's the TSV 70 for me. I will use my naturalization letter and number in the TSP account number.
Yes.
So it's interesting how each form would be for a different ID, right? Like,
yeah, a different TSP number.
Right. So the TSP 70, I can do one for my my driver's license, another one for my naturalization, another one for. Can you do one for your
Social Security number?
Social Security,
another one for your
car title. Car title.
Your car title. Your mortgage to the house.
Ooh, if you have a house. Yeah.
Yeah, you put down the mortgage number.
And each
the
form
time limit, and see that mortgage. But the bank was a bank note. Okay, a post note from the bank. So it was a post note, and the time frame on that post note was 3 years.
Mm.
In most cases, all property is under a 3-year post note time frame.
Mm.
Because that is the amount of time that they can lawfully write bonds against your account, unless you re-enlist. Then you've given them a new 3-year time frame. But
what about
the initial signing up is still the one that rules. Even though you had the additional writers come in, they were placed in there under fraud. Because, like I said, at the age of 25, you were supposed to be a free man or a free woman.
Mm.
So everything after that in their banking scheme has been under fraud and deception.
Greg is asking, what if there was no mortgage but just a simple outright purchase? We can do a 1099-A back against it?
No, you would do a transfer, doing one of those TSP form transfers, and make the payment.
Okay.
You would do a loan, okay, against your account, but basically the best thing to do is, if you haven't bought the thing yet, close down your account and then go and pay for it out of your back pocket. Because you're going to have big back pockets when you get done with this.
True.
You're going to need to learn how to defend yourself in the monetary system out here after that. Now, that will not stop you from basically turning around and putting claims in against the taxes that are due out here, because all taxes pretty much in this country are tariff taxes. So
everywhere.
you'll be using your federal zone number, your zip code, plus your 4-digit depository number to put a claim in using the 1099A and the 1099C. You don't need to have a Social Security number to do a 1099C and 1099A.
And so the part of our protection, when we do come out of the system with that form, would be the letters of recall and safe passage, correct?
Well, you should have those in just to have them clearly identify that you know who you are, okay?
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, this thing is very powerful in understanding. It's all through the postal system when you see, and it's all about accounting.
Can I say something?
No. Go ahead.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, everyone. No,
What
I
you got?
just wanted to make a comment. I have been perceiving lately more than ever, and I liked a lot that you were able to voice today what I have been seeing for a long time. You said earlier, 90% of the times it's our own fault. And a lot of people and some of us in some point have been blaming others for our own incompetency. And then a few minutes ago, just like a couple of minutes ago, you said you need to learn to defend yourself. I like to use words. I'm not being critical. It's constructive criticism. It's nothing we are going to defend ourselves because somebody's attacking us.
But they are attacking us.
Wait a moment, let me finish. You know that I have trouble communicating, so please bear with me. I'm slow. We need to learn how to function in commerce. Learn a little bit what is it that we are doing. If we are going to get into these, we need to learn.
Yes, you need to learn accounting.
Exactly. To me, a lot of this is it's a little bit easier to others because I went to business school for 2 years. So I understand the general concept of debits and credits. But I see how negative can be to have that position. They are against me. They are doing something to me. Well, you know what? You will do it to yourself if you take an action and you don't know what you are doing. And
yes.
What
basically, that's what I'm trying to say. You need to learn how to do, and basically everybody in school was taught to learn the ABCs.
I like that part.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And see, that is very key. Okay? They should have just, if they wanted you to learn the alphabet, they should have said, learn the alphabet. Okay? What the hell's ABC got to do? That's just 3 of the damn alphabet. No, it was something entirely different. But nobody ever questioned. And see, that's the problem. Nobody questions, asks the right question.
Exactly.
Okay? So until you ask the right question, you do not know how to defend yourself against the questions that are coming at you.
Right? Because if
okay?
you are...
And see, you do have to defend yourself. Okay? You have to learn how to defend yourself.
We need to learn how to move in commerce.
Well, yes, but that is defending yourself. Okay?
We are
right.
Concentrated.
Okay?
Defending
okay.
ourselves.
We're not going to carry this conversation on any longer. This has no bearing on this subject. Okay?
No, it does, Patrick.
Okay, no, it doesn't. Okay? Now, if you have a question about what I was talking about, ask that. Okay?
All right. I'm going to.
Okay.
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay, any more questions? Well, I think Patrick has given us a whole lot of information, and I'm certainly going to get to work on this full time. I thought I was preparing, but he's really given me a much more complete, compact, comprehensive understanding of it tonight.
Yeah, see, we were supposed to be the creators, okay, out here. That's why I created that 1099-V, because I know I'm a creator. Okay? You can do the same thing. Take that, modify it. Start bringing your creative processes to the forefront. Start thinking on your own. There is more to this, not much more, into this whole process. You come up with some good idea, put it out there to the group. Okay, that's what basically that group site was supposed to be there for, was for the sharing of ideas and knowledge, not to just be a one-sided scenario. One person does all the legwork. You come up with something good, post it. Don't try and copyright it because it's already been done before. Okay? All these copyright gurus out here, they ought to be lined up and shot too. That David Wynn Miller and his garbage.
Wow.
I mean, talk about a complete idiot. Oh, he's got a 200-degree IQ and everything like that. That's total bullshit. Listen to the guy. He's a complete moron.
28 hours of it.
Yeah. And he's still a complete moron.
When I found that Da Vinci quote that I posted, I thought of you immediately. There are those who can see. That's you. There are those who can see when shown, and that's really what we're working on. You're showing us. And then there are those who can't see.
Yeah. And then there's those that will take something and put it into action. Okay?
Yes.
And there's others that'll sit on the fence and just want to just sit there and bitch and moan about the whole damn process. The bitches, okay? They sit on the fence and basically they want to wait until somebody shows them something, and then they might or might not get off the fence even then.
Right.
I mean, this is, life keeps moving, okay? You've got to be moving. You can't be a sitter. Life will pass you up before you know it if you want to sit around. You want to fight and defend America? You need to move, okay? These guys are very piss-poor shooters, okay? So when you're moving, they have a hard time hitting you. But if you sit still, more than likely, sooner or later, they're going to luck out and pick you off.
Okay, so we all have to get to work on this. And right away.
Okay.
Okay.
One more time. Any more questions? Okay?
Any more?
There's a lot of stuff here. I mean, you ought to have some question about some of the stuff that I put out there tonight.
Well, tonight
a little
you've
more detail or something that you might want about.
Actually, I came up with a whole lot of questions during the week, but you answered them without me even asking them.
Okay, but that's you, Tom. I'm asking the others. Okay.
Yes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I came late into the call, like about 15, 20 minutes late. I'm wondering if during the part I missed, if you shared, have you have any response of what you have been doing for 3 weeks?
Yes.
Patrick?
Okay, I got a response back from the TSP. The first fax that I sent in, basically when I copied it from one machine to the other, it didn't print the account number. So I got a letter back from them saying that we cannot process your TSP because it doesn't have an account number. Well, I caught my mistake later on, and I sent the fax back in. But see,
Interesting.
this is the right place to go.
Right.
These are TSP accounts.
They acknowledge that.
Yes, they acknowledge that basically
Yep.
there is an account. You just need to give us the account number.
Excellent. Very inspiring. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, and several other things that basically, in some cases, in not getting acknowledgement from some of these places, and I mean, I called these people different names under the sun, and see, they're all corporate entities. They can't move against somebody that is standing as an American citizen. Because we are the owners of America. We stand over them. Even in the court cases. Now, I turn around and I did all my traffic tickets. I did 1099-Cs against them. I did 1099-As for the appearance bonds. I did 1099-Vs, or I did 1099-As for all the second payments that I made out of my back pocket. So I put the 1099-C in to cancel the debt that they had put in there because they gave me a ticket, a bill. So I exchanged it back to them for the set-off so that they could do a draw against the debt that they owed me for that driver's license. Then I did a claim for it with using the 1099-A for my appearance bond, which I'm supposed to be paid for my services also. They want paid for their services, I get paid for my services. And that's what an appearance bond on a traffic ticket is. And you have to come in under this, and you have to use, in even at these local courts, the right terminology in court. It's not a trust. Okay? Like I said, there is no trust in America. It is thrifts. And it's a thrift savings plan. And even the legal department at the TSP in Fairfax, Virginia, addresses that if you do not use the proper term of thrift savings plan in your request, they're not going to recognize you. So, but when you do a claim, you put a 1099-V American tax collector voucher in, and see, we can make up our own vouchers. You want to do a fancier voucher than what I've got up there? Hey, make it. You can be a creator too. Create your own form if you don't like mine. I haven't got a copyright on that form. You can change and modify it any way you want. Now you put that in. A voucher is also, it's an identifying who the vouchee is. Now, a voucher is also a warrant. You put the voucher in, they have 3 days to process that. It's a banking voucher. Now, at the end of 3 days, you can turn that voucher and take it down to the sheriff's office or to the U.S. Marshals and have them go and collect it. Or you go to the federal court system and you have them process it you would come in as the plaintiff, the American citizen, and they would be the defendant in the case. And now if it goes into court, basically you can bring in extra charges against them for not complying with their office of responsibility under Title 18 U.S.C. 242 and also under 42 U.S.C. 1983 for additional harm caused.
Can you do those numbers again, please? Title 18.
They're the same ones I've talked about over the last year or so.
Oh, okay.
Title 18 U.S.C. 242.
242.
Okay, and Title 42 U.S.C. 1983.
Thank you.
Now you start using these numbers and everything, and basically all of a sudden they're ingrained into your brain, and all of a sudden you can just sit there and just start rattling these things off. So that's what you sort of need to sit down and do. Talk to yourself in the mirror.
They're the bullets in our gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start looking at the mirror. Put several mirrors up, sort of to see all 12 of your disciples.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, any more questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we're going to do the TSP 70, say for instance, on a bill of some sort, some account, credit card, we'll say. If we do a TSP 70,
no.
Okay.
You do your TSP 70 against your Social Security account.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that credit card company is through a bank. They obtained your account, so that is not really a TSP account. That's a bank account, a local bank account. But when you do, but they obtained the access through your Social Security account.
Okay.
Okay, so when you close down one, the Social Security account, you're going to close down all of those corporate commercial bank accounts.
Okay, now that is the other part of the question, and that was, if we're going to close down an account with a TSP 70, do we still need to do, or should we still do any of the 1099 forms with that account?
Yes, you should do a 1099-C, cancel all debts, and basically that is giving back to them the haircut, okay, the tidy, the 10% tidy, okay. The haircut came about under the story of Samson and Goliath. Samson was the bad guy. He was the money changer. He was the one that was coming in to destroy the temple. He finally did destroy the temple when they allowed his hair to grow out. Just like in this country, the hair has grown out because we're operating under runaway inflation. We're not getting true value for our assets. That's letting the hair grow, the inflation grow. See, the whole Bible is written in metaphors out here. But the term haircut basically still applies in the modern day version instead of tiding. They replaced haircut with tiding. Or they replaced tiding with haircut. So, yes, you have to do a 1099-C. You cancel the debt that they owe us. And then that they're still liable to make the payment of what they're withholding from us, the true value. So on some of those 1099 forms, you don't put a number value in the blocks. You put the full amount of accrued assets.
Okay.
Now, you don't know what the account is. You can demand an account, and I tried to do that before. We have a right of getting a bill of lading or bill of not
Be a
bill
manifest.
of lading, but
A manifest.
what was that?
A manifest.
Yes, the manifest of our accounts, which is the breakdown of what is contained in that account. Okay. And then you would do a 1099-A to claim everything that is left over out of that account, and do the same thing with a 1099-V. So you should be able to do all three of those in one swell swoop against that Social Security account, against that Certificate of Live Birth account, and everything. You
So
can
when
paste those three those three items, the 1099-A, C, and V, onto one page, and then copy that one page and send that in, instead of sending three separate pages. So now you have one page per account with the three forms required.
Okay.
Be creative. That was another thing that I created this morning, see? I'm just creating shit all over the place.
That's a good philosophy. I didn't recall earlier, you meant that the TSP account number is your zip mailbox number, right?
No.
No?
No.
That is basically our federal identification number.
So.
Okay? See, on that goes on the loaners or the creditors or the payers account number. That's federal identification number. So that's your federal zone. That is your depository post box.
Yeah, that's what I just asked.
Delivery. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought
not
it was.
your TSP. Your TSP is your thrift savings plan.
Account number.
Yeah, which is the account number that is down there. And now they have to deliver that account back to you. So they need to have your federal zone number.
And your federal zone number is basically serves as a routing number.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll get to you by the postal route system.
So like the boxes for number 3 is the zip plus the 4-box number, right? Isn't
what,
that
number three
so.
what?
On the TSP 70?
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. TSP account number. That's like I would be 95648, and then my
No, it's number 10.
Number 10?
Yes.
Oh, zip code down there. Oh, okay. So we don't know the number for TSP account number yet.
No, TSP account number is going to be your Social Security number without the dashes.
Oh, that's
your
right.
Certificate of Live Birth number without the dashes.
Okay,
Your Selective Service number without the dashes.
Whatever we're talking about, yeah.
Huh?
Whatever it's pertinent that you're making that form for.
Yes, that TSP account number.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, the individual account. See, you've got more TSP accounts than you can shake a stick at.
Right, I have one for like a contractor's license, a pilot license, a car license, and everything. Mortgage, whatever.
Yes, because, see, they wrote liability insurance against those licenses. And you license them to use your assets. That's what the license is really about. It's not for you to, that you're qualified to drive. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
So when they say,
if you think you're qualified to drive, you are the only one that knows that you're qualified to drive.
yeah, they don't know.
Yeah. When you feel you can't drive anymore, then you best stop, because basically then you would be putting somebody else at risk. But out here in this country, most people can't think for themselves, so they don't know that either. So they're going to get in damn wrecks and everything else, like all the drunk drivers.
I had
know damn well that they shouldn't be able to be driving.
I had out-of-state insurance, and they said, we don't recognize this Audubon up in Washington. And I'm like, so they suspended my license just because I had out-of-state insurance. So, like, I'm sure that they continued to have access to that account even though they suspended me or later.
Oh, yeah.
That account is still active, okay?
Because they prescribed me back into it after I've been out of it for so long. They prescribe you back in.
They wanted you to get back into the Ohio, because Ohio or Washington or whatever state it is, they weren't making any money off of your insurance policy. They weren't getting a kickback. That's why they wanted you to have in-state insurance. You got to think outside the box on half this stuff. Of where are they coming from in their asinine questions?
Yeah, they said the commissioner of insurance doesn't recognize that out of state. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? It's like you can't compare the obligation of contracts.
I don't recognize him.
And see, when you close down your driver's license and do a withdrawal from it, okay, you don't need a driver's license. You don't need a license on the vehicle. You have withdrawn from their system. Now they have no control over that, because they cannot write a charge against something they have no control over.
Right. Then I can put my bumper sticker on that I've always wanted to that says, "Welcome to the USA, land of the buffaloed."
Well, or basically you put on a sticker, American tax collector, you mess with me and I will tax the hell out of you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the truth is. Because what would you be doing if you come back after them for the harm they caused? And see, that's what I did to the police officers that basically put me in jail. I turned around and I put a 1099-A in against their a depository account.
What happened?
You find out their depository account number, their zip code, and their 4-digit number. Then you put a 1099-A against them for that amount. You put a 1099 voucher in against them also for harm caused. Now they have 3 days. If they do not honor it and take it and have it sent up to their insurance company to do the set-off, which they probably won't, then you can have them, the sheriff or the U.S. Marshals go and put a collection against them. If they still don't pay, then you take them to court. You're taking the corporate entity. You're not taking the living individual. And see, most people out here don't realize that all the warrants that most of these judges have been issuing out, even the local police don't know this. That warrant is to clearly identify who is to be arrested. None of those warrants clearly identify who is to be arrested. They cannot arrest an American citizen unless he has caused harm, outright physical harm, and there's an injured party. A United States citizen, okay, a corporate citizen, is a fiction. It's the account holder of that document. That is not the living individual. They can only arrest the account. And see, all of these arrests out here have been false arrests under false warrants. Now, the judge signed that warrant fully understanding that, he had better know the law about issuing a warrant. So if any harm comes to the American citizen from that false warrant, he is also liable. You can go after his bond, liability bond. The clerk of the court processed it, and she is supposed to know her job responsibilities also about warrants. And then also the police or the enforcement agents are supposed to know. They're supposed to look and see whether that is a valid warrant before they process it. So you can put a charge in against all three in the process for a false arrest of arresting the American citizen instead of the corporate United States account citizen. Now, take a look at the IRS. Is the IRS a tax collector? No. Their title doesn't say a damn thing about that they are the tax collector. And in most cases, all that they can do is write liens against your assets, threats and intimidation. In most cases, they're trying to get you to do a 1099-C and a 1099-A. You cancel the debt that they owe, but since you are the American citizen and all taxes out here are essentially tariff taxes against the usage of the Federal Reserve product, all tariffs come back to America. And as an American citizen, you are the tax collector. Only the living can be the tax collector. Hopefully I made a little clearer sense to you.
Made a lot of sense to us, Patrick. I've got to listen to this call at least 2 or 3 times more. You really packed it in.
Yeah, and especially with all, basically, you guys could be the richest dipsy dumpster divers out there if you knew what all this is about.
I think I'm going to go at that.
I've saved all my receipts for a long time. I knew they were going to be good for something.
Yeah, and especially most people only keep the receipts if there's a tax on the receipt. Now, you go to a gas station, there's no tax. The tax has already been incorporated into the gas bill.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So normally most people throw all those receipts away unless you're doing trucking or something like that. You have to turn around and give it to your boss or something to try and get reimbursed for out-of-pocket expenses. But if you're on your own, you turn around and you take that and you endorse it because it's a bill. And then you send it in to BP or whatever to the chief financial officer with a 1099-C, a 1099-A, and a 1099-D voucher. And you claim that back. Now you've got it in the IRS system. Now, if they do not comply, you've got the CID in your back pocket. Because the CID works for the tax collectors, us. There are enforcement agents.
How would you do that with small merchants? Can you do it?
You can't do it with a small merchant if it's a mom and pop store, okay? They haven't taken a loan from your account.
Just the big
But
companies like Safeway that has like the Safeway Club card and all that kind of stuff, or Sam's Club card and all that. They're the ones keeping the
basically
account.
any interstate
Right.
commerce organization, okay, Walmart, okay, Come and Go, Casey's, Dollar General, True Value, Sears, you name them. I mean, they're all over the place.
CVS,
okay? You got a whole bunch of dipsy dumpsters you can go and start making some money out of, okay? But be careful, because basically you start turning too many of them in, somebody's going to start questioning. You couldn't have bought all that stuff, so they're going to try and get you on fraud.
Right.
But if you go about it the right way, yeah, you can basically turn around and claim all those back in.
What is the wrong way? What is the wrong way?
Well, if you basically go down there and you pick up 25 receipts from one day, and basically you bought 25 of the same item on that same day, basically that might bring about a little questioning in what the hell are you doing? Okay? Think about it.
Yeah.
You got to be sneaky. You got to be in this process. But yeah, you have a right, because nobody else is claiming it. Okay?
Or honest, right? Just take what you are really using, what you really need, right?
That, or basically you have a right, if nobody else is claiming it, you have a right to come in and claim it. Okay? It's open. Okay? It's like you going out and you find a penny in the street. Okay? You didn't lose the penny, but you found it. Do you have the right of claim of that penny? Yes.
Are you implying?
Otherwise, it's just going to lay there and basically get washed down the sewer, and I don't think the rats down the sewer can use that penny for anything.
But you're not saying you can go and claim from other people, for other people.
No, you can't take it from other people, but if they abandon it.
Yes, if they hand it over to you, okay.
Like a receipt, you mean? Like you find
yes.
That, yeah?
If your neighbor, okay, say your neighbor doesn't want to do this, okay, and they give you their receipt, okay, you got, basically, they gave that to you. You have the right to turn around and claim it then.
Okay.
They abandon it over to you. Think, okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions there?
Yes.
Yes, another question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
My birth certificate number is only 8 digits long.
Where were you born?
Michigan.
Okay, it's more than 8 digits. Okay, you didn't get the full account number, okay? There should be a 3-digit state code that you're missing.
Would that mean
find out what that 3-digit state code is?
Is your year of birth part of the number?
Not that I see.
Well, you're probably looking at the wrong number then, okay? You're supposed to be looking at the registration number. Now, in some states, they won't give you that registration number unless you exactly ask for it from the state.
And ask for
because,
the long...
see, that's a TSP account number. Now, you can go to that Bureau of Vital Statistics and say, hey, I need to have a copy of my TSP account number.
Okay.
They also know it as the long form. Tell them you want the long form.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Patrick?
Yes.
I have a state of Michigan certificate of live birth, and it's a bunch of numbers, but there is one that 2, 4, 6, 8 numbers written in red. The other numbers are in black.
That number in red is probably down at the bottom of the form, and that is a sequence printing number.
Okay.
Okay? That is for them to be able to track that instrument,
And in
because that is a bank note. You can do that for a certain value. But we didn't. We were trying to use our Social Security number or something like that when we were using those certificates of live birth in that capacity, and it was the federal zone, federal identification number, or federal zone number that we were supposed to be using.
in the top, it has other numbers, 6 numbers, and it has a C as in car, F as in Frank.
No. Okay, the number you're looking for, okay, since 1948, all states except for California were supposed to be using a 3-digit state code, okay, dash a 2-digit, the last 2 numbers in the year of your birth, and then a 6-digit number, okay, for a total of 11 digits. Okay, that has been the rule that was supposed to be placed out there since 1948. All except for Pennsylvania.
Right?
All except for Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Pennsylvania stayed on a 7-digit numbering system. Now, some people that were born before 1948 may have a different number on there. You put whatever number was put on that registration form.
Okay.
Okay. My COLB, Certificate of Live Birth, has a state file number that has a 3-digit number, a dash, and then 2, 4, 6, 7-digit number after that. And in that 7-digit number, it does not include the last 2 digits of the year of my birth. I was born in 1960.
Just put it in and see what comes back, okay?
Okay. All right. I will do that. I'm
Yeah.
glad to know that the red number at the bottom is not anything that I really need to use. I'm
Yeah.
glad to know that, because I
You
thought
can
that
do,
was what.
okay? Here's what I did, okay? I took that bill of lading, what I was working on before, and I posted that up at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn around and I put this down, that this is a duplicate copy of the TSP initiating document. Okay? So I put a picture, a JPG of that, and then down below I posted, signed, and sealed that document. I put a 3-cent stamp, or no, I didn't on this one. I just signed and sealed down below. I put a copy of that along with that, with my 1099A, B, and or my A and C, and my 1099 voucher, and I sent that off to Donahue. Now, if you do not know what the number is, you can take a copy of that and fax that in with your TSP 70 form for them to clearly identify your account number.
Awesome.
You
I like
put a
that.
cover letter. You put a cover letter with it and say, I am not sure what the account number is for this TSP document.
I like that idea.
Great.
Yeah, see? Think outside the box. I'm thinking right here on my feet right now, okay?
Mhm.
That's what you people here in America need to do. Start thinking.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
I don't know whether there's anything else I could say to try and get that, because it doesn't do any good to sit there and argue about, well, this number doesn't seem to appear right on it. Well, basically, I have no control over that.
Right.
Go and ask the people that do have control over that.
And that is a great way of doing it. Whatever document we have that we're not sure of, just include it and tell them you figure it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you're ordering up the withdrawal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. That's a great piece of information. Okay, any more? Any more questions, people? Patrick has certainly given us a whole lot to work on right here. I mean, he's summarized what we've done, but he's really strung it together very nicely tonight.
Well, hopefully that pulls a lot more of it together that basically I've been talking about in the previous audios out here. So,
yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank you
Patrick.
very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Thomas,
Bye.
we're going to have a study night tomorrow while it's fresh in our mind, right?
If you want.
Yeah, it'd be good.
What time?
Now just make sure and get it posted on the group site there so that people have a little advance warning.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
do that. Okay, we want to do one at 7 tomorrow?
That sounds good.
7
Okay.
what? Eastern time?
7, no, I'm sorry, 8 Eastern time. That makes it 7 my time.
That would make it
6, 8, 8
5
or
our
5
time.
are back here. Yeah.
Five
Okay, I'll talk to you
California.
guys later. You guys take
Have
care.
a good
Bye.
night.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Yeah, let's do a study, and then it'll be 5 Pacific, and then we can post notes and stuff for other people to learn.
Right. Well, we
So-
record the call and they can listen to what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we do the
Okay.
same thing, call in on the same number with the same code, right?
Yeah, same number, same code.
I have to jot that in. Okay.
Again,
Thank you, Thomas.
I'll post a note on the site about that right away.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
that's
Good
great.
night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.